Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sav. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Genshin Impact's 1.7 or 2.0 Inazuma update. Which banners are coming for the characters? Well, you might be surprised which ones they're going to be coming out with first with all the leaked characters that have come out in the recent leaks over the past few weeks. We're going to get into that and more, so stick around for the entire video. But before we get started, be sure to like the video. Let's try to go for 100 likes on this one. Also subscribe so you don't miss any of the future content. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. Okay, so for this current banner, let's go ahead and start there. Currently, we have the Klee banner in play. It's available for 8 more days. And following this banner, we already know Kazuha is coming. So if you've been looking for a new 5-star character, he's it. He is coming in this next banner. So all his materials are found in the region that I'm in right now, the archipelago, the Golden Apple Archipelago. Those will be moved, including the boss, will be moved to Inazuma region, and you'll be able to collect all that stuff in Inazuma. So if you don't get them all now, or if you happen to get them in the future, don't worry, you'll be able to get that at a later date. So for the time being, once again, we have 8 more days and 2 hours for this Klee banner ends. Then we have Kazuha for 3 weeks. After that, we're going to have 2 new banners, but 3 confirmed new characters are coming. 2 5-stars and 1 4-star. You may have an idea who they might be, but recent leaks and information from inside sources has pretty much confirmed who they're going to be. And that is what we're talking about today. Okay, so here she is in all her glory. One of the characters that was teased and was in beta a long time ago, way back in the day, early days of Genshin Impact, Kamisato Ayaka, one of the main characters in the story arc for Inazuma. She's finally coming. And if you don't know anything about her, we're going to go into her just a little bit. She's going to be the first banner as of right now. That's what we know of. And for the dates on that, it's going to be on July 21st for that banner to come out. So that's the first banner in 1.7 or 2.0, the Inazuma update, whatever you want to call it. All right, so she is Cryo. She uses a sword. So if you guys are unfamiliar with her, she kind of has an ability like Mona's Sprint. She has that, but it's Cryo based. So if we scroll down a little bit, it's her crit damage that is scaling here, which is pretty big. Anybody that has crit damage scaling is fantastic. This is subject to change, however, so don't expect this to be the released character, but pretty often than not, this sticks here. All right, so Ascension materials. We have 2 new materials here. So let's look at it. We have the Sakura Bloom. Sakura, you guys already know, if you watch Naruto, you're familiar with Sakura. Yeah, so this is going to be one of her Ascension materials. And then on top of that, we also have this material here, the Perpetual Heart. So these are going to be 2 new materials that we do not have access to yet. And then she uses the Cryo Gemstones. We also have some materials here from common enemies in the Inazuma area. This is going to be the Old Handguard. And then it scales up from there. They're all the Handguard materials. Next up, she has her regular attack, which is a 5-hit combo. Nothing crazy on the scaling of any of these here. Nothing stands out completely here. And then you have the Kamisato Art Hyoka. This is going to be the E ability. This Kamisato Art Senho is her sprint. So this is where she's going to be able to go under the ground and cause cryo to any near enemies. And then you have the Kamisato Art Sometsu. This is her ult, and this creates cryo. It's really hard to explain. I would have to show you guys. I believe that there was a leak video you could find around from a long time ago. It shows her ult. But basically, you're just doing cryo AoE damage. And once again, there's nothing crazy on the scaling here at all. But if we stick to what we know and stick to this information here, the crazy scaling comes from the crit damage here. So we don't really have to worry about any insane damage scaling on any of these abilities. She's cryo, which means that you're going to be able to do some melts, reverse melt, so you get the 1.5 damage increase. On top of that, you're going to be able to do the super conducts as well, which are going to get you more physical damage at the end of the day. Talent Ascension materials here, she does use the Elegance books or Elegance rolls. These, I believe, are not out yet, since it is a scroll, which I have not seen myself. I've never seen this Elegance scroll before, but hey, new area, new materials, gotta love it. She does use the Blood Jade branch. So currently, this is in the game. You can get these. Also, another character that uses these is Yanfei. So it comes from the Azhara boss that's currently in the game, underneath the tree in Liyue, the most annoying boss currently in the game, I should say, because the ridiculous amount of HP pool that he has, on top of the amount of damage that he puts out, it's insane. I don't like him at all. Let's move on to the passive talents. Fruits of Reflection. Ayaka crafts weapon ascension materials, has a 10% chance to receive double the product. Gotta love it. The next one is after using Kamisato Art Hyuka. Kamisato Ayaka's normal and charged attacks deal 30% increased damage. You love to see that. Anything that's increasing damage passively is something we want to see. And then for the third passive, when cryo application at the end of Kamisato Art's Senho hits an opponent, Kamisato Ayaka gains the following effects. Restores 10 stamina, which is good. We need that. We need more stamina if we're going to be using her weird sprint ability a lot, or dodging. And also gains 10% cryo damage bonus for 10 seconds, which is also great. Gaining more damage passively is something we always want. Constellations we're really not going to go into, so if you guys want to look at this for yourself, go ahead and check the link in the description box. I will leave it down there. It is on Honey Impact or Honey Hunter World, as always, for a lot of this information. They're very reputable. If you guys don't know them by now, you should. The link will be down below. Check it out. The reason why I don't go into constellations is because for 5 stars, it's kind of pointless. The only people that will really be getting constellations and 5 stars are people that are whales and spend ridiculous amounts of money on a free-to-play game. That's not me, and for the majority of people, that is not them either. So we're not going to go into that. However, there are some pretty cool things in here, so check it out on your own time. Let's move on to the next 5-star that is coming. The following banner, okay? First of all, we don't know the 4 stars that will be coming out on us yet. The leaked information does say that there aren't any new 4 stars coming on this banner, so you're going to see some older 4 stars repeat. Hoping that we see possibly Yanfei on here. That would be nice, because I would like to get some constellations. Alright, for the second character banner coming out in 1.7, 2.0, Inazuma update, we have coming out in August 10th, will be Yoimiya, I don't know, bro. It doesn't matter. It's the 5-star Pyro Bow user, okay? We don't have one yet that's 5-star. You know, we do have Amber as the Pyro Bow user, you know. The memeable Amber, which is, with a lot of investment, can be a decent character, but we don't have a 5-star Pyro character yet. But we are going to have one, finally. And if you guys saw any of the leaked videos of her attack sequence, it's pretty interesting. We're going to talk about that a little bit today. So, like I said, she's a 5-star bow user. Interesting. And with that, you know we're going to get a 5-star bow that comes along with her during that time. But that's a weapon banner. We're not going to talk about that now. All right. So, it looks like on her passive talent, or her passive stat that increases with her level, will be crit rate. So we have a crit damage character and a crit rate character coming out. These are great things to have as passive stats that increase, because crit rate and crit damage are 2 things that you want to stack as much as you can. So that being said, let's go ahead and look at, again, new Ascension materials. So we have the Naku Weed that is going to be used, and then we have the Smoldering Pearl, and from the image, you can tell that it's going to be a Pyro Hypostasis that's going to be implemented into the game. The Pyro Hypostasis is going to be like pretty much every other Hypostasis, easy to beat. All you have to do is use its weakness, and it's pretty much finished. So this is going to be easy boss to fight to get. So No stress there. Easy materials. No problem. All right. Now, for the attack, it's 5 consecutive attacks for the sequence. Some pretty decent scaling here. Yeah, I mean, nothing crazy. The aimed shot is interesting, though. I do like her aim shot. Let's talk about her actual E, all right? That's Take a Fire Dance. So during this time, arrows fired by Yoimiya's attacks will be blazing arrows. So regular attacks become fire. They become pyro infused, all right? Their damage will be increased and converted to pyro damage. The second charged level of normal attack, Firework Flare Up, will not generate kindling arrows during this time. This effect will deactivate when Yoimiya leaves the field. How do you pronounce her name? Somebody put it in the chat below. Let me know how you pronounce her name properly, because I don't, obviously. One thing that I do want to note here, guys, is that kind of like Ganyu, she has a level 2 charge of her attack. So level 1 is just a flaming arrow. Level 2 generates a maximum of 3 kindling arrows based on time spent charging, releasing them as part of its aim shot. Kindling arrows will home in on nearby enemies, dealing pyro damage. So she has a homing arrow, and you see the extra damage here. It's beautiful. You love to see it. So like, Ganyu was basically a proof of concept that a 5-star character with a bow can have an extra charge or more damage or be more viable. Because as we know, 5-star child Tartaglia, you don't really use him for his bow. Like, he has a bow, but you don't use him for that, right? You're using his water daggers mainly. So you don't use him as a main in that sense. He's more of a burst DPS. So she will be a main DPS coming as I'm looking at all this. You will be able to use her as a burst DPS as well if you want to use her as that, but she will shine as a main DPS. All right, let's look at her ult. Normal charged plunge attacks, elemental skills, elemental burst by any party member other than Yoimiya that hit an opponent marked by Aura's Blaze will trigger explosions, dealing AoE pyro damage. When an opponent affected by Aura's Blaze is defeated during the skill's duration, the effect will pass on to another nearby opponent who will inherit the remaining duration. One of Aura's Blaze explosion may occur every 2 seconds. When Yoimiya is down, Aura's Blaze effects created through her skills will be deactivated. Right, and then it shows you the damage scaling increase here. So that's great. Just more pyro, more ways to get just area effect and explosions and stuff going on. So I'm going to be honest with you here. She might pair really well with the overload or overloaded reaction. Just because we have pyro explosions going everywhere. If you have someone that could put down a lot of electro on the field, this might be just crazy AoE explosions everywhere, spreading pyro. Pairing her up with another pyro character in the party, getting that 25% increase. Also getting that extra energy recharge from another pyro character as they go on the field to just go out there to burst or support, getting more energy. This might be very viable to have a second person in the party for that. And then if you pair it up with 2 electro, 2 pyro, then you get more energy recharge going on. This could be very good synergy here, especially with the buffs to elemental reactions that came out recently. We could see very good viability here. Or if you want to go the reverse melt, or this isn't reverse melt, she's actually just forward, just overall max damage melt, because she gets the 2.0 damage increase there. You can do that as well. So even if you want to pair her, say you get Kamisato Ayaka in there as well, where you can do everything's going to be frozen and cryo already on, then you put her out and then she goes and melts everything. You have a lot of big damage coming out at one time. Love to see it. All right, so for the talent ascension material, you're going to have the transience scrolls, also new, coming to Inazuma. You love to see all this new stuff. And then for the max talent ascension materials, you're going to have the Dragon Lord's Crown, which once again you get from Azhada currently in the game. Alright, let's look at the passive abilities. Blazing Match, when Yoimiya's craft decoration, ornament, or landscape type furnishing, she has a 100% chance to refund a portion of the materials used. So if you like using the teapot stuff, she's going to be useful in your party, or useful just to have in general, because you get more materials back. I seriously have not used any of the I haven't even done the first teapot mission to actually have access to the teapot yet. I have a bunch of materials and a bunch of things that I'm able to craft just by doing events and unlocking things, but I haven't done it yet. So maybe one day when I get really bored, but I'm not a Minecraft child, all right? I don't play games just for the casual, just building things. That's not my thing. I mean, I'm not that bored to just stick in a game and do that. So that's not me. But a lot of people I know do play that. So this is for you, you know, enjoy that passive. But for me, it's kind of useless. Tricks of the Troublemaker. During the Take a Fire dance with Yoimiya's normal attack will increase her pyro damage bonus by 2%. This effect lasts for 3 seconds and can have a maximum of 10 stacks. That means up to 20%. You love to see passive damage. This is great. Love it. Next one, Summer Scorch. Using Ryukin Saxi Phrase. Using Ryukin Saxi Phrase causes nearby party members, not including Yoimiya, to gain a 10% attack increase for 15 seconds. Additionally, further attack bonuses will be added on based on the number of Tricks of the Troublemaker stacks Yoimiya possesses when using Ryukin 60 Phrase. I don't like these words. Each stack increases each attack bonus by 1%. Once again, passive damage increases. You love to see these things. And once again, when it comes to constellations, we're not going to go through these. Link will be down in the description box below to check it out yourself. But her being a 5-star, she's already great at 0 constellations and will be broken once you get constellations on her. But free-to-play players, don't worry about this. We're not going to go through it because we're not going to give you that FOMO, all right? Don't have FOMO. Don't spend money if you don't need to. If you already spend money on the game, go ahead and look at these. You'll love them, obviously. All right. That is our second character. Now, you're thinking, wait, second character, is there more? Yes. As a matter of fact, there is more. There are 3 new characters that we know of as of right now that are coming out in the next update. The third character is a confirmed 4-star that we've already been talking about, that has already been leaked. And that is Sayu. She is coming on Yoimiya, however you want to pronounce her name. She's coming on her banner. So we have a confirmed 4-star. That means there's only 2 other 4-stars on that banner that we won't know about. We will talk about it as we get closer to that update. Who do we think is going to be on that banner? So this will be the first Anemo-based Claymore user. You love to see, and she's a little one. She's a child. I don't know if she's a child or just really, really small person, or chibi or something like that. I don't know. But it's kind of funny. I was hoping that it wouldn't scale the Claymore down a little bit, but if you've seen the leaked videos on her, it does scale the Claymore significantly to her size. I was hoping they weren't going to do that because I would like to see a memeable little Anemo character with a massive Claymore. That would be really cool. But we're not getting that. Let's go ahead and look at her. Like I said, it's a Claymore Anemo user, the very first of her kind. As you can see here, we have a new talent level up material. Once again, Crystal Marrow, which we will see in Inazuma. And currently, we already have access to the Magyu Kishin. These are little things that you're able to get right now, fighting the Magyu Kenkei boss that is in the archipelago, which will be moved to the Inazuma region once the update comes and the archipelago is no longer available to use. All right. She uses the Anemo crystals, and it looks like Elemental Mastery is going to be the scalable stat on her. Elemental Mastery right now is starting to shine a little bit more since the buff, and her being Anemo, she's going to swirl everything. Having this boost up on her is going to be good. If you already have an Elemental Mastery sword, like for instance the 4-star one, the Rain Slasher, if you pair her up with anyone that is, I think it's Hydro and I want to say Electro. Any of those two, putting them in your party with her, she'll get more damage if they're affected by those. I don't know if you're going to be using her as a main damage dealer, but you might be able to. Most likely, I'm thinking she's going to be a burst damage dealer. Let's go ahead and look at it. It's a 4 damage attack sequence. Nothing really special here. So let's go. Let's look at her E ability. So enter the Fufu Wind Wheel state. Roll forward a short distance before using Fufu Wind Wheel kick. That's the press. The hold is roll about continuously with the Fufu Windwheel state, increasing Sayu's resistance to interruption while within the state. During this time, Sayu can control the direction of her roll and use the skill again to end her Windwheel state early and unleash a strong version of the Fufu Windwheel kick. The hold version of the skill can trigger elemental absorption. This skill has a maximum duration of 10 seconds and enter cooldown once its effect ends. The longer Sayu remains in her Windwheel state, the longer the cooldown. So if you want a short cooldown, just hit or just hold it and then exit the roll as soon as possible. But the cooldown can last from 6 to 11 seconds on this. So, which is really cool because she can absorb while she's rolling around, picking up elements, and then slashing and releasing those elements to get that swirl effect, which is really nice because you're going to be able to get more damage with the updates of Elemental Mastery. All right, looking at her ult here, you are, it's Muji Muji Daruma. At specific intervals, the Daruma will take one of several actions based on the situation around it. If the HP of nearby characters is above 70%, it will attack a nearby opponent dealing anemo damage. If there are characters with 70% or less HP nearby, it will heal the character with the lowest percentage of HP left. If there are no opponents nearby and nearby a character above 70 HP, it will heal characters. So it can possibly heal or you can be doing damage, which is really cool. I like the fact that this is basically a variable healing character. I'm really curious to see what this is going to be like in combat and seeing how you can use the healing ability and how consistent you can be with doing damage versus healing. I want to see this in action, so I'm looking forward to getting. I'm going to be rolling heavy on this banner because you have a new 5-star and you have a new 4-star. So I most likely will end up getting her and maybe possibly constellations on her. We will go into constellations here in a second, but so far she's looking like a really interesting character. I think she's going to be fun to use. Claymore, little chibi character, I'm really interested in using. And being a Nemo, not being one of the more popular, being one of the least popular elements in the game, rightfully so. It still, I believe, still needs a rework. If you're able to absorb more than one element, I think that would be great and put out more damage that way. I would enjoy that, but that's neither here nor there. That's for another video. So it looks like she uses the light scrolls, so look for those. And we already know these materials here, but it looks like she also uses the gilded scales from Azhara, currently in the game. So stock up on those if you're looking to get her. Let's look at the passive talents. So when Sayu's in the party, your characters will not startle crystal flies. That's actually pretty useful. And certain other animals when getting near them. So that's cool. So certain wildlife characters that run away from you when you're trying to farm, you know, if she's in party, it makes it easier to farm. For certain, for instance, at hogs, when you're trying to get meat, if there's a certain area in the game, or maybe a few areas, but there's one area I like to go to near Mondstadt that has a lot of hogs, but as soon as you attack one, they all start running and despawning. So having her available will allow me to get way more raw meat. Also, crystal flies, there's a few areas in the game where there's a bunch in one small area, but as soon as you approach, you grab 1, 2, maybe 3, but the rest are gone by the time you're able to get to them. So that's very useful. The second passive, when Sayu triggers a swirl reaction while active, she heals all your characters and nearby allies for 300 HP. She will also heal an additional 1.2 HP for every point of elemental mastery she has. So elemental mastery is going to be significantly important with her. Not just for her damage, but for her passive healing. This is great. This is fantastic. We don't have a character like this yet. They're getting more and more creative with their characters and their kits. I like this a lot. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next passive ability. The Muji Muji Daruma, created by you, our Mugen Madness, gains the following effects. When healing, a character will also heal characters near that healed character for 20% the amount of HP. Increases the AoE of its attack against opponents. So, this passive allows her to get more healing and also allows her to do more damage. You love to see it. This is great. Alright, so We didn't go through constellations before because there were 5 stars, and most people won't be able to get constellations of 5 stars. If you're lucky, you might. So that's different for 4 stars. I will always go over constellations for 4 stars because people usually have a high chance, high probability of getting multiple constellations on 4 stars. They're very common. So let's go ahead and go through these. All right, for the C1, the Muji Muji Durama, created by Yuhu Art, Mujina Madness will ignore HP limits and can simultaneously attack nearby opponents and heal characters. Alright, C2. Yuhu Art Fun Dash gains the following effects. Damage of Fufu Whirlwind Kick in press mode increases 3.3%. Every 0.5% in the Fufu Windwheel state will increase the damage of this Fufu Whirlwind Kick by 3.3%. The maximum damage increase possible through this method is 66%. So right off bat, C1, okay for a support character. C2, better as a burst damage dealer. C3 gives you that talent, not talent level up, but yeah, it's a talent level up, I guess. Yeah, it is. All right, C4. Sayu recovers 1.2 energy when she triggers Swirl Reaction. This effect occurs once every 2 seconds. Right here, this makes her a more viable character to get more damage out over an extended period of time. This increases her overall DPS. So this as a burst dealer, once again, good. C5, it's another talent level up. And C6, the Muji Muji Durama, created by Sayu's Yuhu. I keep saying Yahoo. Sayu's Yuhu Art Mujin Madness will now also benefit from her Elemental Mastery. Each point of Sayu's Elemental Mastery will produce the following effects. Increases the damage dealt by the Muji Muji Durama's attack by 0.2% attack. The maximum of 400% attack can be gained via this method. The amount of HP restored by the Muji Muji Durama is increased by 3. A maximum of 6,000 HP can be restored in this manner. So this further allows her to be a better burst damage dealer and a better healer support role. So that's what I'm starting to see in her kit. That is the common thing here. You want to use her as a burst or you want to use her as a support character. She can do both or shine in either or. You can build her either way or build her to do both decently. As a 4-star character, you can't really ask for more. She will shine a lot if you get her to C6, but getting her to C1 and C2 will get her a little bit closer to being better than what she is at C0. I would say if you don't really have the Primogems, go for C1 and C2. C3, great if you want to get a little bit more damage out of her, but it's not necessary. She will shine in those 2 roles, like I said, so go for her. I'm going to be rolling. Hopefully I get C1 and C2. Never really know. It really depends on how many Primogems I have at the time. But everybody, that is going to be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think about the characters that are coming out in the next update down below in the comment section. I want to know your thoughts, so please don't be shy. Let's have a conversation. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up button, guys. Let's try to go for 100 likes on this one. Also subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.